In this podcast, we're going to talk about Robert Millikan and his discovery with the mass and charge of the electron. He used the oil drop apparatus. Here's a picture of his apparatus. You see that you have oil that is put in the bottom there, and then it is sent through the atomizer, which breaks it down into very small particles, and it's sprayed into this inner chamber. And then on the other side here we have a microscope, and see, here we are, see, squeeze, woo, okay. All right, we get little oil droplets in here, and then you have these two plates in here. All right, when they sprayed the oil droplets in there, they could use x-rays on the drops, and they would cause a charge by knocking off some of the electrons off these little oil droplets. So here you see x-rays going in and making the particle positive by knocking off a negative electron. So then they can put the electric charge on these plates down here. And when they did that, they noticed that some of the drops, the oil droplets that were sprayed in here, would hover, indicating that they had a charge. So here you see an oil droplet hovering because it's positively charged and it doesn't want to get too close to that positively charged plate. So he was able to measure the drop itself and find the volume of the drop, and he was able to find the mass from the density and the volume of the droplet. And then after he found out the mass of the droplet, he was able to calculate the charge of an electron because he knew the charge of the plates. So it's kind of like during our experiment during class with the BBs. We weren't able to directly measure one single BB, but we used droplets, and we were able to see the differences in their mass. And then once we got down to that very smallest difference in mass, we knew that that was the mass of one electron. And that's similar to what he did to find the mass and charge on the electron. Well, once he found the charge on the electron and the mass on the electron, he realized that electrons had very, very little mass. And what that told him was that there's something else inside the atom that is accounting for the rest of this mass, for the majority of the mass of the atom to be exact.